We're back with more of the WHHI news. Joining me now, Stephen Combs, the Public Information Officer with the Bluffton Township Fire Department. It's Fire Prevention Week coming up. And Stephen Combs, thanks for joining us. You're going to give us some tips about cooking, because that's really the area that you're looking at, everybody nationwide, right, for this week?
Right. October 8th through the 14th is the National Fire Prevention Week. So fire agencies across the country are focusing on cooking safety because it represents 31% of the fires that are typically reported by the NFPA.
That is a lot of percentage being caused by cooking accidents or fires. What about locally in your area in Bluffton? What have you seen?
Unfortunately, Bluffton is, we're not immune from these types of situations. What we have seen over just the last 6 months is we've had several fires as a result of kitchen, cooking being left unattended on the stove. Unfortunately, we did have one fatality as a result of a cooking fire. So we really want to raise that awareness to the community about the dangers of unattended cooking.
So what do you advise? First of all, when you say unattended, we shouldn't leave things unattended, right, in the kitchen?
That's right. When we say unattended, that means if you put something on the stove, you leave it on the burner and you walk out of the room. What we really want you to do is if you have something on the stove, stay there, watch it. If you have to leave the kitchen, please turn the burner off. If you have something cooking, set a timer so that you don't forget that there's something in the kitchen cooking. We've had several situations where people have left pots on the stove, forgot they were there, and they begin to, smoke and fire resulted.
Oh, those are two good points. What about as far as when you're using other things in the kitchen, maybe a microwave? People love those. I don't know I've never used an air fryer, so I don't know if that could even cause a problem. But what about other things like microwave, toaster oven, that kind of thing?
Sure. A lot of times people think that when a fire happens, either in an oven or on top of a stove, even in the microwave, a bag of popcorn begins to burn. Their immediate response is to try to open and get that out of the microwave. But what we want to do, if you have a fire that occurs either in a microwave oven or a regular oven, close the door and leave it closed, turn it off. If possible, on a microwave, you can unplug it. Most of our microwaves today are above our stove, so it's not as easy to do. But you can cover up a fire if fire begins to break out in a pot. Just if you can safely place a lid over the top of that, that's important as well. So
that's basically to cut off oxygen to feed the flames, right?
Correct.
But your instinct might be, if you see that something burning in the microwave, whip open the door and try to do something. But you're saying, no, don't do that.
No, because there's two things that could happen. Number one, you could spread the fire. Number two, you could very seriously be injured by it. So our focus is to make sure that you don't do either one of those.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know water is a no-no. Don't throw water on something. I've got to admit to you, I've got a little fire extinguisher in our kitchen. I would have no idea how to use it. I mean, I know it would be better if you were right here and showing me, but can you give me kind of a verbal explanation on what I should do?
Absolutely. So with fire extinguishers, we use what we call the acronym of PASS. The first part of that is you want to pull the pin. That way the handle is now active. You want to aim the nozzle toward the source of the fire at the base, and then you squeeze the handle, and then you sweep left to right until that fire is extinguished. Now, if unfortunately that fire gets out of hand, you need to make sure that there's space between the stove and you can get out. Most importantly, if it gets out of hand, get out of the house and call 911.
Okay, well, it's good you say start at the base. That would be something that would not even occur to me. I would just be aiming maybe even at the top of the flames. But start at the base, you said move left to right. Does that really make a big difference?
It does, actually. When you spray at the base, you're getting to the source of where probably the fuel is for that fire. And that helps the effect of the fire extinguisher cover up and smother up the flame there. Okay.
Well, these are great tips from you, as always, Stephen Combs, a Public Information Officer with the Bluffton Township Fire Department. I want to thank you for joining us on the WHHI News.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
We will be right back.